Here is a sample quiz on the physical and chemical properties of matter. Again, we can categorize the properties of matter as either physical or chemical. Physical properties, most of this can be easily observed. They can be easily observed because most of this can be observed with our senses. So we can see this, we can feel this, we can smell this, we can taste these properties. On the other hand, physical properties indicates how a substance reacts with something else. So the key word here is the word react. So it describes how a substance behave or react with other chemicals. And of course, to observe this, we need to wait for a chemical reaction or a chemical change because that's the only time we can see how that substance will react with other chemicals. And in a chemical reaction or in a chemical change, obviously matter is changed into a new substance. Now let's try to identify the following as either physical or chemical property. Let's start with blue color. Of course, we can see color. We can observe this with our senses. So this one is a physical property. The next one is density. It's equal to mass over volume. Now we can measure mass and volume without waiting for a chemical change or a chemical reaction. So again, anything that does not involve chemical change or chemical reaction, that is a physical property. Next is flammability or burning. Again, when something is burning, it's actually reacting something from air. It's actually reacting with oxygen from the air. So I have said the word react. And again, pag merong react, that is associated with a chemical property. So this one is a chemical property. Next, solubility. So for example, when we dissolve salt in water, okay, here is a water, and here we are dissolving salt in it. Now this one is not a chemical reaction because it's still salt and water. They are just mixed physically. So there's no reaction happening between the two substances. So they are just dissolved, or the salt is just dissolved or mixed in the water. So again, since it does not involve any chemical reaction, this one is a physical property. Next, we have it reacts with acid. So here we have the term react. So this one is a chemical property. Next, it supports combustion. Combustion is the other term for burning. So again, when something is burning, it's reacting with oxygen. So this one is a chemical reaction. Next, we have sour taste. We can taste, we can observe this with our senses. So this one is a physical property. Next, we have melting point. Melting point, so melting. So example, we have solid ice into a liquid water. Now this one is a change obviously, so nag-change yung phase from solid to liquid. But this one is not a chemical reaction, or it's not a chemical change, because again, in a chemical change, new substance is formed after the reaction. But here, it's just the same water, right? Again, that's solid ice, it's water, then after it becomes a liquid water. So it's just the same substance before and after the reaction. So it's just a physical change, so there's no new substances formed after the reaction. So since it's only a physical change, this one is a physical property. So melting point is a physical property. Number 9, reacts with water. So this one react. So this one is a chemical property. Next, hardness. Of course, we can test hardness without waiting for a chemical reaction. So this one is just a physical property. Next is boiling point. The same thing with melting point. So of course, in boiling, we turn liquid water. We turn it into water vapor. But again, before and after the change, it's just the same water. So we just change the phase from a liquid to a gas, but it's the same water before and after the reaction. It's just a physical change. So boiling point is a physical property. Next, luster. So it's the ability to reflect something. To reflect, of course, we can see this with our eyes. So this one is a physical property. Odor, of course, we can smell this. So again, uh, properties that can be observed with our senses are physical properties. Next, it reacts with the air. Of course, when we say air, it's there are different chemicals in the air. We have oxygen, nitrogen, and other chemicals. So again, the term react. So this one is a chemical property.